Hello and welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hickson. I am your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI, and I'm so grateful to be joining you on this beautiful Monday night, fresh off of a weekly press conference from Coach Kenny Dillingham on Monday afternoon after Arizona State's triumphant 26-22 victory over the Texas Tech Red Raiders. The Sun Devils are riding high. They're back in the top 25 of the AP poll at number 24. They have an inside track to reach the Big 12 title game once again due to BYU and Cincinnati playing each other later in the season and having a tough schedule in general. And they should be favored in every single one of their remaining games. But before looking ahead, we have to look towards Houston. The 6-1 Houston Cougars, led by second-year head coach Willie Fritz, and that was a large focus in today's press conference from Coach Dillingham, and we are going to cover some of the major topics that he discussed during that time, about 30 minutes, Monday afternoon. So let's get into it. So first thing, he did not have many updates when it came to injuries. He said that they should know more about Sam and Jordan as of Monday night. Obviously, there won't be much that comes out until Wednesday night's player availability report that comes out that is mandated by the Big 12. But as of right now, there is skepticism as to whether Tyson will be able to play. I think Levitt should be good to play, but you never know. And as for the other players that have been banged up, I think it's safe to assume that the players that have been probable will be good to go. Prince Dorba, his status is up in the air. Not a lot is known about him right now. We shall see. Xavier Alford and Kyson Brown will likely remain out. I don't think much is changing in that department. So injury front is pretty benign right now. Not a lot is known, and that might be a good thing for the players that have an uncertain status right now. We shall see in the coming days, like I said. Number two, he praised Willie Fritz. Willie Fritz has really, truly won everywhere he's gone, and Dillingham was not overstating that when he said it. He's won everywhere from Sam Houston State to Central Missouri to Tulane 2 years in a row where he was the AAC Coach of the Year. And now he took over a Houston program that was stagnating under Coach Dana Holgerson, who was at one time a respected head coach that won a lot of games. He took over that program. Not many coaches get their first opportunity in the Power Four at over 60 years old, but Willie Fritz was a great candidate. I always liked him as a coach, at least in my years following college football very, very closely. And he's done it. 4-win team in year one. They are now already eclipsed that total halfway into the season. They're already bowl eligible at 6-1, and even if they say finish the season 2-3, that's still a successful season, especially since they have a very strong recruiting class coming in at this point in 2026, including the number one overall player in the 2026 class. So Willie Fritz is really building up a strong culture in Houston. Seems like a lot. I won't say exactly like, but very similar to what Dillingham's built up in Tempe. Dillingham talked about how he wins games through ball control, not making mistakes, forcing the other team into mistakes, playing complementary offense, doing the little things right, attention to detail, and he really lamented about how current college football culture and I guess sports culture in general is so focused on the highlight, the flashiness, the spectacle, when in reality you can be great at what you do without being flashy. Houston's recipe for winning is obviously working right now, and they are a team that Arizona State cannot sleep on, and I will be very fascinated to see how this game goes, especially if Jordan Tyson is unable to go. One of the other things that I really wanted to touch upon was Coach Dillingham talking about the special teams play. You could argue that the special teams play is what put Arizona State in peril on Saturday. Two subpar punts, some shoddy coverage on those said punts, just inconsistent special teams play in general, especially on punts, led to short fields for Texas Tech, in which they scored 2 touchdowns to take that 22-19 lead. Going into the final drive of the game, in which Sam Levitt led that really, really phenomenal drive. He talked about how he had the players meeting on Monday before the press conference earlier today. He talked about how he made everybody on the team stay to talk about special teams. Didn't matter what position you were staying. And that is just, to me, a signifier of the culture that he is building. It's just a reinforcement of the accountability that he strives to hold for everybody in the program. The self-accountability that he has as well, because ultimately he takes a lot of the blame when things don't go right. And he is more than willing to adapt. He is more than willing to hear out what others have to say. And that really doubles into his commitment to going physical at practice. Some have said that they have been less physical at practice in recent months compared to what they were in 2024, including Chris Cartman of Sun Devil Source and some others. And it can be argued that some of the laid-back approach has affected them in the early parts of the season. I think Kenny Dillingham recognized that. He said that never again are we going to do things differently than we did last week, because that's who we are, that's who we want to be, that's who we are going to be. And that's extremely respectable for a coach to double down on that continued approach, because I really don't think they ever necessarily lost that. I just think that it was it wasn't lost. It was kind of lost in the process, I guess, for lack of a better term. But I really like the direction that things are going. Houston will not be an easy game. Coach Dillingham said that several times. And the mindset always is just 1 week at a time. We have an opportunity to go 1-0. Looking ahead doesn't do any good for us. But from my perspective, like I said, the last 5 games of the season, Houston at home, Iowa State on the road, a bye week, and then you finish with West Virginia at home in a homecoming game, Colorado on the road, and Arizona at home. You should win all 5 of those games. You should be going into the Big 12 title game with a record of 10-2. Unfortunately, that loss to Mississippi State likely leaves you out of the at-large picture if you do not win that Big 12 title game, hypothetically. But we shall see. It was a very, very informative press conference, and I want to close it off with this one last thing. I asked Coach Dillingham personally about 2027 recruits Noah Roberts and Jake Hildebrand, both 4-star recruits for the Basha Bears. They're going to play possibly the biggest game of their regular season this week against close to nationally ranked Hamilton High. And I asked Dillingham if he was going to be at the game. He was very non-committal about it, but he also did say that I'm always going to prioritize the players that choose to play for me or have chosen to play for me over players that I want to play for me. And that was an extremely enlightening perspective. I really hadn't thought of it that way, at least this season. And the hope is that you get Hildebrand and Roberts to stay in Tempe. You have the selling points. You have Saga Tuatele, who's a phenomenal O-line coach. He developed Max Ihenacore into the potential NFL draft pick. And Sean Aguado, you see his track record from Rashad White to Cam Scatteraboo that could be very, very intriguing, enticing to Noah Roberts. But the 2027 class is a long ways away from National Signing Day for their class. So for now, take it in stride. Keep on controlling what you can control, winning games, and selling the program to prospective recruits. And really, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Monday night. It'll be Tuesday morning by the time this comes out. And I will see you tomorrow after practice. Thank you so much.